In this video, we will discuss prompt flow. Uh, think of prompt flow as a series of steps you might want to take or execute when you want the output of, say, a large language model to go through certain transformations, maybe through in custom code or through other large language models, and you create this chain or series of steps to achieve an end result. So to create a prompt flow, the first thing you need to do is, of course, go to ai.azure.com or the AI Studio. In the AI Studio, you create a new project. It's pretty straightforward. Give project a name, create a resource if you need to, an AI resource, click create. This process takes some time, but once it's done, you'll probably see something like this. Once you have a project, go in the project. In the project, you would have different places. Now, like always, before you can use any large language model, you need to have those models deployed. So like in my case, I have these models deployed already. In case you haven't deployed a model before, simply click on create and say pay as you go or real-time endpoint, and select the model you want and click confirm. Once you have a models deployed, to create a prompt flow, you go on prompt flow. There you click on create. Now some templates are already available in prompt flow. I created one already using the standard flow. So once you will click on create, you would see something like this of type standard. And once you click on that, I named my prompt flow test. Once you've created that, you click prompt flow or the name you've given, and you should see something like this. So if you remember at the beginning, I said a prompt flow is nothing but a series of steps you might want your information or data to go through. So this is the template which comes with the standard flow. What it does is it takes an input, which starts let's say this is user data or user input. It goes through step one. It then the output of step one goes through step two, and the output of step two is then created as the final output of this flow. If you notice what these steps are, they can be either a large language model, or it could be a prompt, it could be a custom code. And here also you can see that they are distinguished from each other using these symbols. So this is a symbol of a large language model deployment, and this is a symbol of a custom Python code. It took me some time to understand how they are joined together. So let me spend some time explaining this to you. So inputs is what is provided to the flow at the beginning. There are sections defined here already in prompt flow. In the input section, you create your input. You can have one or more inputs. So I can add another input like say count. I can give it a type integer and I can give it a value of 5. I'll just save it for now. So this is where you create your inputs, and then you create your outputs in the output section. So what the output from this echo node, which is a Python function or Python code, it is delivered or it is passed to a variable called joke. And as you see here, the way the assignment is done is calling the node name echo dot output. The output of echo goes into this output, and the assignment happens through this variable name, the name variable of the output, and the value it is receiving. If we go down further, so the input is going into the joke LLM. The joke LLM is defined here. What it does is, first, to make it work, let me before doing that, if you execute any of the to execute any of the prompt flow, you need a runtime. Think of runtime as the compute resource you will need. And when I started using runtime, I faced a problem that you need to have certain quota to create VMs. I think my quota limit was 6. So if you want to see what your quota limit is and where you are at present, go to manage, click on quota, click on Azure ML, And here you see that for different type of machines, what your usage is and what is available to you. And in my case, as you can see, I have 6 cores available of these machines and I'm not using any of them. So I can use, let's say, a compute resource to execute my prompt flow. So let's go back to the flow. Right. Now, creating a runtime takes time. So while I am doing this video, let me start the runtime. You just click on runtime and start. I also have this option of start with advanced, where if I am low on my core count, I could select a lower core. For example, this machine can uses only 1 core. So if I'm already using my compute resources in other projects in Azure ML, then and I don't have enough cores, then I can just select a smaller core. So let me just go with this standard 1 core shutdown. This is important because when if you don't shut down after some time, you will be billed up. So you might want to make sure that you are not spending a lot of money and leave the prompt flow running or the compute running. So I've activated that and it is now running. So while I have my runtime ready, let me go back to the flow again. So as I said, input is what goes into this node. I define my inputs here. Like my 2 inputs are 2 variables of name, topic, and count, their types and their values. The input goes in the joke LLM. Now joke LLM is defined here. You create, because it's a large language model. You need to first create a connection string or a connection. So when you will click here, you should see default Azure AI. You have an option of whether you want to use chat or completion. Let's say I use chat. Now I showed you deployments in my project already. These deployments are picked from here. So I can pick any of the deployments which is in my code. I pick this one, GPT-4 0613, and I can do any settings I want, etc. What I want the output to come, I can define what I want the output type be. I can define here. So I can have a text or I can have a JSON, whatever I prefer. And these are the settings of the large language models. And this is where we define the how this LLM works. So the persona of this LLM is that it tells jokes, and it tells joke about a topic. Now this topic comes as an input to this joke node. So to create something which is an input, what you do is you create it within these 2 curly braces. So curly brace topic, and then closing them, it tells it shows that it is an input coming from into this node. And this is where it's defined that topic is of type string. So we have defined a variable called topic, which is an input in this LLM, and its value is coming from inputs topic. So don't confuse between the topic here and the topic here. They are 2 different things. This topic is just a variable name of this, and its value is coming from inputs topic, and inputs topic is this one. So in the input section, this variable topic. If it confuses you, I can explain it by another way. If I say topic input here, and this is different from standard coding. Generally in standard coding, we declare a variable and then we use it. What I found is in prompt flow, you use the variable first and then you can automatically create its type, etc., by creating a validate and parse input. So once I say validate and parse, you will see, oh, the runtime is not ready yet, so I cannot do that right now. I'll come back to this. But what I'm going with this is, once I would have clicked validate parse, this would have changed to topic input, and the value would be inputs topic. So the joke LLM, it has a persona. It takes an input, and its value is coming from the inputs of its value is coming from the topic in the input section, and it creates an output. Now, because it's a large language model, the output of a large language model is text or string, and that output is going into echo. Echo is a Python function. It is defined here. So it's basically a function which echoes or repeats what was sent to it. It takes an input of type string and it generates an output of type string. So the output part is this, that it's just returning basically the input. So again, this input is a string and it's defined here. Just like in the joke LLM, there's an input which it uses, and we defined what it was and what its type and what its value. Same thing goes here. Input is input of type string, and its value is what is coming out of the joke LLM. So the way to access output of a previous of any node is by giving the node name dot output, and this is how the assignment of the value of this joke is how the input value, sorry, the output of the LLM is assigned as input to the echo input. And once echo has returned a string, it should go to the outputs variable. Now, and that assignment is here, that in the output section, I have a variable called joke, and its value is echo dot output. So the result of echo's processing is going into output. I would wait for the runtime to be created, and then I'll execute this flow to show you what the output looks like. Okay, so finally the runtime is ready. It took almost 40 minutes, so it seems it could take quite a long time for the runtime to get ready. So to run this flow, we just need to click run. Just make sure that you have provided the values of the input. The expectation is that I will provide the word, or this flow will get the word engineers, and the model will create a joke, and that joke, the output or that joke will be sent to the Python function, which will just return it, and that the return or the final result will be in this variable joke. So if I just click run here, okay, the run is ready. The run has been done. I can look at the outputs and see for engineers, and input is not used, so I can ignore it. For the topic engineer, I get a joke which is this one: why don't engineers ever play hide and seek? Because good luck hiding when GPS is updated every 5 minutes. I didn't get that, to be honest, but that's fine. So that's how you work on prompt flow. And say I want to customize it. I want this model to tell me count number of jokes, and I want it to also tell me those jokes in both English and French. So I can do that by creating so my flow will need two variables now. First, the topic on which I want the flow to create a joke on. Second, I want to tell it how many how many jokes I wanted to create. And then from the output perspective, I want the joke in English, but I also want a joke in French. So I've already created a variable called count in input. I can create another variable, let's say called joke French, and its value should be from a large language model, which can, or from a place which can convert the joke created by this joke node into French. So I'll keep it empty for now till I create the other nodes. Now, because I want to create 5 jokes on topic engineers, I need to first go and change the LLM, and yep, I change this prompt to say user tell me, and remember, because the count comes from input, I say count, I say joke count jokes about topic, please. And when you now click validate and parse, you will see that right now the input show only topic, but once I will click validate and parse, I will see another variable called joke count. It shows me joke count. So it's a variable only. Its value should be this count I have here. So I should simply do input got count to assign it a value. So I go here, not here, and I would say inputs dot count should be the value. I don't know what happened there. So this is topic, and this should be count. Strange. Let me see if this helps. Input start. I just write just with this and input start topic. So this should hopefully work. I don't know why it did not work on the drop down. And now I want the joke to also tell me joke in French. So what I could do is I could create another LLM. So this will send me 5 jokes in this will send me 5 jokes, and I want the jokes to be converted in French as well. So let me create a new large language model, and I call it joke French, and I add it. And right now it's connected to the echo output. I would not do that. I'll change it, and then I would provide a connection. Then I would say it's a chat. My deployment is same as last time, and prompt I'll just copy from here. Say okay. Let me see how you. Let's say this is a translator only. So you are a bot which translates an English sentence. Let's say it translates from English to French. Let me do that. And I say translate the following into French and say what I'm expecting is text to translate. Now this is the input again. Now what I can do is I can say validate and parse. That will create a variable of type translate, and say I want these jokes which are connected by this joke to be fed directly to joke French. So I would say joke.output here, and as you see now, because I did the reassignment, now jokes output is sent to echo, and now it's also sent to joke French. So I've done that, and now I want joke French output to be another variable. So I can use this one. I already created joke French. I just need to assign its output to joke French's output. So I would say joke French's output. Then, and these are all the outputs I will see. If I save it, I haven't tried it earlier, so I hope it's gonna work. Let's see, I run it. And if I now click on view outputs, I should see 5 jokes. Let's see. Engineers count 5 completed. So there's joke number 1, joke number 2, joke number 3, joke number 4, joke number 5, and the equivalent, I'm assuming it's the same, but in French. So that's how you use prompt flow. Essentially, rather than having just one input and just taking the output of an LLM, if you want transformations to happen, for example, you can use prompt flow to chain input, transform it, and then chain it further into some other node. Thanks for watching.